What is going on, my peeps? Your boy Versatile is back with another video. Back, yes, with another comparison of or with the Pixel 4 XL, and we're going against another Google product that came out this year. Yes, the Google Pixel 3a XL. Now, in terms of size, the as you guys can see here, they're nearly the same size. Nearly, well, yeah, really, in terms of size, they are. When you flip them over, you get more screen with the Pixel 4 XL 6.3 as opposed to, I believe it's 6 inches or 6.1 inches. So it's just a hair bigger in terms of the Pixel 4 XL. But what's some of the main differences that we know about these two devices? Well, we know price is one of the big differences. The Pixel 3a series is more geared towards the budget, mid-range, friendly, wallet price minded individuals, you could say, in terms of the price starting at the time anyway, was 300, and then the, oh my god, oh, my math is wrong, 400 and 479. Now you can probably find either one of them from like right at 400. So this phone, very good for what you get at $400. Being that this is a 3A XL, still retain the fingerprint sensor. You get one camera module, and the camera is just as good as any of the other cameras. Of course, you get some of the features that came with the Pixel 4 XL through software updates, not all of them. But you still get a nice full, quality display. Turn her, because my wife's been using this and she don't like brightness. So, as you guys can see a little more there. It still looks very clean and flush. You get a little more chin here at the bottom, and just a hair taller, forehead, if you will, at the top. You got your front-facing camera as well. You got your speaker up here at the top. You got bottom firing speakers here on the bottom for the Pixel 3a XL. You got both buttons on the side here still. As I said, you got the fingerprint sensor. Swipe down on it to get to your notifications. So the Pixel 3a XL is a very solid device at what it's offering at that price. I believe you get the Snapdragon 670. So you get the mid-range processor. It's very good still. You don't really notice that it's a mid-range too much unless you think about it. But for the performance and for the price and what Google has packed into the Pixel 3 XL, you have no issues here. With the Pixel 4 XL, of course, you get the Snapdragon 855. You get no fingerprint sensor, but you get blazing fast face unlock. You get a forehead here towards the top. It's not a big deal. Barely got anything at the bottom. Much more full screen. There's an OLED. Actually, they're both OLED, I believe. Yes, they're both OLED displays. So that's nice. And the price on this one, however, is $900 for the 64 gigabyte model. The Pixel 3a XL only comes in one size, I believe, which is 64 gigs. But you get two options with the 64 and 128 gig here with the Pixel 4 XL. Aesthetically, you see you get a different color power button on any of the colors. You get orange for two colors, and you get white for the jet black. And you get two camera modules on the Pixel 4 XL. One being the telephoto, one being the main wide. Telephoto is very solid. Wide is very solid. It's what we expect from Google. You get a front firing speaker here, and then you get the speakers here at the bottom as well, both USB-C. So what really is the difference between these two phones? It's really the processor and the slight performance. Well, I wouldn't say slight, but the performance and software experience overall is more improved on the Pixel 4 XL. Not that much, I guess you could say, just because it's a Google product, but because of the processor, because of the 90 hertz display, and because it's got more horsepower, everything's going to run that much more smooth here on the Pixel 4 XL. Whereas with the Pixel 3a XL, things still run relatively smooth, but for someone who eyeballs that kind of stuff often, I can tell that there is a difference in terms of speed with the mid-range processor. One of the things being is when I'm at my home screen and I'm in an app. I don't know. Let's see. Let's go here. Let's go here. Oh well. Let's just open up the clock for whatever. And like when I swipe home, the Pixel 4 XL is just slightly faster. Like I notice it, and it's not like staticky or laggy. It's not jittery. You get a hair bit of jitteriness with the Pixel 3a XL. Now, will the average person notice that? Probably not. So your safe bet, if you're not worried about an extra camera, if you're saving some money, if you're not worried about motion sense, if you're not worried about face unlock, if you're not worried about the new features that Google has implemented with the Pixel 4 XL, then the Pixel 3a XL is a very great device. If you do like what Google has been doing with their new stuff, the Pixel 4 is very solid. You're not wasting your money per se either way. Now the battery, 3700 milliamps on the Pixel 4 XL, and I believe, memory, 3500 on the Pixel 3a XL. Comment down below if I'm wrong, because that's one thing that literally just escaped my mind. Batteries are very good on either device. You could get easily through your workday on either device. Now, I had to put hers on the charger because she don't use hers like that. But, well, yes, I guess within the last day or two, she hasn't had it on the charger. But that being said, it's cool. You get routine, regular updates on either device. So Google supports the devices very well. And as I stated earlier, some of the camera features have came to the Pixel 3a XL, such as astrophotography and one more thing. Oh, just overall, camera improvements. And I think that's it. The reason why dual exposure didn't come in super red zoom and stuff like that is because of this super red zoom. Well, I know the other one didn't come because of the telephoto lens and everything, or you just need the added horsepower and the neural core chip. This lacks the Pixel visual core chip and any machine learning chip that the Pixel 4 series has. So due to those reasons, you will have some missing camera features with the Pixel 3 XL, but that does not take away from the camera that is on here. You still get a very good, very solid camera up to Google's par. You get exactly what you need out of this device with no issues. And that's front facing, and that's the rear. Now, processing time in terms of photos after taking them, they do take a little bit longer on the Pixel 3 XL, and that's because, again, the mid-range processor within it, and there's no additional processing chip on board to help offload that processing. Whereas with the Pixel 4 XL, it's near instant with processing. It's like a second or two at most. This takes about 5 to 6 seconds before it processes, and then that just takes a little bit longer the more pictures you take in a row or consecutively. But again, if that's not a big deal for you, the Pixel 3 XL, again, is a solid device. You're going to get comparable pictures out of the Pixel 3 XL as you would out of the Pixel 4 XL. And that's a great thing about Google. They did not take away their camera prowess, their camera, science-y, whatever you want to call it, the computational photography. They did not take that away when they released the more budget mid-range device in the Pixel 3a XL, and that's a very good thing. In terms of updates, Android 10 on both of them. You see dark mode is on both of them. Very solid. Google has done a great job with their devices. So it's hard to recommend the Pixel 4 XL over the Pixel 3a XL when you consider the price alone. But then it's easier to recommend the Pixel 4 XL over the Pixel 3 XL when it comes to features, just because you do get more features out of the Pixel 4 XL than you do out of the Pixel 3a XL, including a more robust processor. Doesn't take away from the processor in the Pixel 3 XL, but it is a better processor nonetheless. So again, when you think of price, when you think of comparable battery, when you think about how Google does a very good job of supporting both devices, when you think about what you still have that some people may miss versus what is absent but is easily made up for in the face unlock, when you think about the addition, when you think of the addition of the second camera module, it's like, man, it's tough. Google made this a tough decision because, with the Pixel 4 XL, they probably did slightly, price it a little higher than where it should have been. In the 700 to 800 range would have been better than the 800 to 900 range. And then, of course, when you factor in the 120 gigabyte models of the 4 and 4 XL, you're looking at 9 and 1,000, whereas there's just one straight model here. So price is probably the only stickler out of the situation, but this is a flagship. This is not a flagship. So that's really what kind of separates the two. Is one's considered flagship, one's not, and that's because of specs, features, and the rollout time. What Google wants to present their recent capabilities in, and they want to showcase that with the Pixel 4 XL. Look at that motion sensing work right there. The Pixel 3a XL was again more or less like a showcase of them being able to keep their camera in a more budget-friendly priced phone, and it succeeded. Both are available to carriers. This one, T-Mobile, for sure, Verizon. This one is available, I think, doggone everywhere. The Pixel 4 series. So, if you're wallet conscious, the Pixel 3 XL is very solid. If you're still wallet conscious, but you like what Google is doing with the Pixel 4 XL, then get the Pixel 4 XL because you're not losing on that. But if you're very battery conscious, you're getting this one's gonna get comparable battery life anyway, just because you got a less battery hoggy processor, I guess you could call it, in the more mid range. But they both last very well. So again, it's you're kind of nitpicking at that point. This price is really the only thing. Now, of course, you get two cameras versus one. That's the other glaring difference. And then if the fingerprint sensor is that big of a deal to you, but if it's not, Pixel 4 XL is very solid. Like I can't walk away from the Pixel 4 XL. I can't just write it off. But either way, you're getting a clean, very solid device, a nice Android experience. Android 10 has been a welcome delight to Android, and Google, none other than Google, can display that very well with their devices. And I did not even say, hey, Google, chill out. But that is it for this video. Hope you guys appreciate and enjoyed it. Your boy Verso is signing out. And until the next video, which pixel do I choose? Google, stop hitting yourself. Wait for